green ivy gently wrapped around, a warm flickering light in the background, flowers and pearls graciously decorated, elegance and simplicity delicately demonstrated. Today I'm coming on with another wreath tutorial, and this time I'm using this embroidery hoop. This is the size I'm using, 17 centimeters. So we're going to be making a really unique wreath that no one's going to have seen before, hopefully. And I really like classical, really simple looks as well, so that's what I'm going for with this one. So the first thing that you want to do is unscrew this metal part here. The next thing that you want is some pliers, and we're just going to get rid of this metal part here as well. And once you have your metal bits off, you're going to hot glue this bottom wreath to the second one. So we're going to glue it like that, so it looks like this. And you can go in with E6000 and hot glue just to make sure that it stays secure. And don't worry about any glue showing because we're going to cover that up later. The next thing that you want is your tea light holder. So we're going to saw this part here, so the second wooden hoop. So you want to make sure that you get your tea light holder so that you can measure how much to cut off. So you want to place it in the center, exactly where you want it, and make 2 markings. So now you're going to be very careful and just cut a little bit of wood. So I've just marked here with my little saw so that I can keep cutting. So once you're done, you're going to make sure that you sand off all of the edges so that it's straight. Then once you've done that, you want to think about where you want your tea light to go. So you can place the hoop on top, but I just don't think that looks right. Or you can have it in the middle. You can have the tea light sitting on the wood. So what I'm going to do is have the hoop coming not just sitting at the bottom but slightly above right here. So I'm going to use E6000 and hot glue to stick that in place. Now the next thing that you want is your tea light, and the thing that I don't like about tea lights is that sometimes they can look a bit cheap and tacky, but because we're working with wood we can't actually use a real tea light. So this is one of my tips. I'm going to use a Sharpie pen in silver. You can use whatever colour you like, but I think that the metallic colours like gold and bronze look really nice for wreaths, especially if it's for the festive season. And all you're going to do is colour your tea light in. So now we're done with the fundamentals and we're going to start decorating this, but I am still going to keep it very simple. And this is me just trying to get a few things before I get it right for you guys. A lot of the thought process doesn't really get seen on the camera, so I'm just showing you all. I do play around with everything, I just edit it down and give you all the perfect quick version. So after trying out a few things, I think I'm going to settle with this craft vine. I don't know, these just looked too artificial for me for this piece anyway. And I think these are more delicate and I really think it will go with this more. And whatever you're choosing to work with, you can thread it through so it's in between the 2 hoops. Or you can just completely overlay it over both of them, and I've had a play around and I think it suits me putting it all over. So I'm just going to apply a small amount of hot glue just there, and then I'm going to stick down the ivy, and then all we're going to do is wrap it around. And now I'm going to apply a small amount of hot glue just at the end there. And then you're going to leave that bit to drape, so I'm just going to cut this because there's too much of it. I think just about this much off here, but I'm still going to leave it to drape. And then I'm going to cut another piece and stick it here so that there's 2 draping down. If you decide to have it draping down like this, you don't need to cut a piece off and stick it like I did here. I only did that because I didn't decide on doing the draping before I started the wreath. Otherwise I could have just let it drape and then wrap it around the wreath like I did with the bottom part here. And then I'm going to take bits of this bouquet, so you don't have to cut these, you just pull away at the heads. And then we're going to stick these down right next to the tea light. And I think that looks a little bare, so I'm going to add another one in with it. I'm using these adhesive pearls and I'm just sticking them throughout, and I'm going to make them extra secure. They do have a sticky backing to them, but I just feel like that isn't strong enough, so I'm going in with some hot glue as well. And now I have these berries, this berry cluster, and I'm going to cut it off. Well, let me see if I can actually just rip that off. Yeah, so I'm going to stick that on just to the top here. And for the final thing, we're going to add some of these dried flowers, baby breath sprigs. These are always great to add detail when you just need something but not something overpowering. It's also dainty and I love that. So I'm not going to stick them throughout the wreath because I've already got a lot going on. I'm simply going to add a few to the sides here and here. And here's the finished wreath. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial and that you like the finished thing. I really do, it is my style. I like simplicity and elegance, and I think this is just that. And another great thing about it is that it can be freestanding like a centerpiece, or you can hang it like the typical wreath. What I really love about this is that it's dainty, it's feminine, and also it's like a 2-in-1. It's a wreath and a candle holder. This can also be a pretty inexpensive but beautiful handmade gift for someone for Christmas. You can also take this idea and use it as a wedding centerpiece. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you leave me a thumbs up and a comment. I read every single one of them. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you do love what you see and that you consider staying. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next video.